You are Black in the Green Room with me, your host, Keith Underwood. And this is your spot for real talk about entertainment with entertainers, creatives, and showbiz professionals. But today's guest is the incredibly talented Hannaha Hall, who you know as Tiffany from Showtime's The Shy. She's real, raw, and making waves both on screen and behind the scenes. Whether it's her work as an actress or her love for comic books or her artistic eye off camera, she brings intention to everything that she does. Let's get into it. Hannah, welcome to the room.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That is an awesome introductory. I appreciate that.
No problem at all. How you doing?
I feel good. I feel good. I'm in Chicago. It's a good day. It's an amazing summer. So I feel good. How about you?
I'm doing good too. It's LA and it's a nice day in LA. It's a little warm for us, but nothing like the humidity that's in Chicago.
Yeah, yeah. But we appreciate it because our weather isn't as consistent as it is out there in LA. So we take advantage of our warm days out here.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You're originally from Chicago?
I am born and raised.
Did that have any parts in you getting the part of Tiffany?
I think, when it come to budget and production saving money, to hire a local is always gonna, work in their advantage. But I will say this, it was a timing thing because it just wasn't a lot of productions at the time. So it was good that I was in Chicago and wasn't outsourcing myself because that's typical to go to New York or
Right.
LA or Atlanta.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I was really, really surprised to find out that you are a big comic book fan.
Oh my God. I'm laughing because yes, that is something about me. I love comics.
Yeah, well, it's crazy. I'm a huge comic book fan as well. I even created one, but it's
I
just,
saw that.
thank you very much. So what if you could be any superhero in film, and whether it's Marvel or DC or something indie, what would your character be like?
Oh, everybody always go for the superheroes, but you know what? I've been leaning into the villains. I've been
Okay.
telling people, you know what? I would love to play a Riddler. I feel like, that's obviously a male role, but who get more riddles than women?
Well,
Like,
hello.
that should be given to a woman. And this day and age, when we're telling stories, especially in Hollywood, things are shifting.
Oh yeah.
They're allowing women to play male roles and male to play women roles. So it's an opportunity. But yeah, I'm very fascinated with the villains. I think we all kind of grew up loving like the go-tos like the storms and stuff.
Hmm.
I will say it was my friend, I can't remember the name of the character, which is terrible, but my good friend was like, you know what'll be a good one? The Lady Green Lantern.
Oh
And I was like,
yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know what? That
yeah.
is a good one. I haven't read up on her
Yeah.
in a while though. So
Yeah, no, that would be interesting. So if you had your choice of superpowers, whether it was as a superhero or in your personal life, what would that superpower be?
probably telepathy.
How come?
Because I feel like that's if you can control somebody's mind, you have all the control. You can make them do
Right.
anything.
Right.
We
Little scary, but I feel you on that though.
it is very scary, but look, imagine how much we can do, even with the politics and stuff. We could change a
Well,
lot of things.
yeah, yeah. Now you do have a point there. So maybe telepathy could be really good on your next trip to DC.
Yes.
Good, good, good. So you've mentioned that in the past that writing is also one of your hobbies. What kind of writing do you enjoy the most, and does it feed your work as an actor too?
It absolutely feeds my work as an actor. And we break down characters, and when you write in, you're breaking down this story.
Hmm.
But I want to say what I enjoy, I'm such a weirdo. I'm not, and I mean that in every good way. Like I'm a proud weirdo, but I love sci-fi.
Hmm.
And I've written things sci-fi related, but anything just out of the box, out of the ordinary, things that you don't expect, especially in a world where it's like there's a lot of story repeats. Like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
you reading something, you're like, I can see where this is going, but something that's out of the box, something that you didn't think about. Like, and I love the world, like the sci-fi world, you can really explore, and there's no
Mm-hmm.
boundaries to that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So let's see here. I've also heard, tapping into all of your little creative outlets here, that you also have a great eye for photography and for style, especially on the gram. So do you see yourself stepping behind the camera one day?
Um, that's such an interesting question. A lot of people ask me that because I'm super into photography and cinematography. I stand by the
Mm-hmm.
cinematographer when we're shooting. And I love it. I love the art of it, but I don't know if I will be a director. If it
Mm.
ever now in my life, no. Maybe 10, 20 years from now, I may find an interest in that. Like I love writing. I love just setting up shots and stuff and telling stories. I love everything else, but I'm like a director. You have to be so detail oriented and so intentional. Directors fill in the gap for what
Mm-hmm.
we can't do. They're driving the ship, and it's just such a huge responsibility that you have to be extremely passionate about. And because my
Mm-hmm.
passion is more so towards acting and writing and other stuff, I just wouldn't pursue directing now because I wouldn't give it my all.
Right,
So,
right, right.
but I do enjoy it.
Yeah, nice, nice, nice. Hannah, so if you had to step outside of yourself, right, and
Hmm.
direct yourself, what are some of the major notes you would give yourself?
Oof. Man, I would tell myself be more confident.
Hmm.
I know that's a thing, but it's real. I would tell myself be more confident, be more fearless,
Hmm.
take more risks.
Hmm.
Um, this industry is so fickle, it's so unpredictable, but true enough, like when you think about a risk, you fear comes with that.
Hmm.
But it's so much beyond that risk. Like each time you take a risk, it's something beyond it. Even if it's a failure, there's lessons in failure. There's great lessons in failure,
Absolutely.
the best lessons. And sometimes I take risks, but I could be overly cautious. I could be,
Hmm.
just kind of overthinking it and not making that step forward. And,
Hmm.
I think telling myself to just really push on that, especially in this industry, you have to have that to really
Hmm.
exceed
Yeah. Why do you think that's important for all actors to come outside of their comfort zones, to take those risks?
because it's such a competitive industry.
Hmm.
Like the next person is doing it. And who's not doing it is not getting anywhere. And it's unfortunate
Hmm.
to say because it's so many talented people, but sometimes that'll be the thing that hinders you and prevents you from moving forward. Like this is a really competitive industry.
Hmm. Absolutely. When it comes to the shy, what was one of those moments when you were like, I don't know, but you went ahead and you did it anyway?
Um, I will say my first audition for the shot, it was like I don't know. I auditioned for Keisha, and I remember the audition. Oh God, this is a lot. The audition started with her and she was finishing up a moment.
Right.
And it was something I was not prepared to even try to do. And I had to pep talk myself and say, do it, just do it. And essentially, I mean, I didn't book Keisha. They ended up switching me to Tiff. But
Hmm.
that's what booked this role for me, telling
Hmm.
myself, just do it. Don't think about nothing else. Just go in that audition. And I did embarrass myself. I remember they were like, the casting director was like, not this. Don't do it this way. And I was like, oh my God. But I threw all of that to the side and it was just like, do it.
Hmm.
So I experienced that in the beginning. And then honestly, this past season, it was a lot because I was like, she's pregnant, she's grieving,
Hmm.
and she's not just grieving anybody, she's grieving her lover. And that was a
Right.
lot for me. And it was intimidating because I want to tell these stories and I want to be as true as possible. And I'm like, I've never experienced it. So I'm gonna have to dabble into every bit of grief that I've ever experienced because grief
Hmm.
of a lover is different, I think.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, but yeah, so this season was really tough and it was a lot of just do it moments. Just do it, be in the moment. And I'm so grateful for my co-stars because they really, really help us. Like we
Hmm.
help each other. It's like a basketball game. They're laying it up, we're dunking it, you know?
Right. And it seems it's so funny because it seems that way. It seems like there's a very family environment, especially when I've seen you guys do interviews, because I can always clock the fakeness. But when I've seen you guys do interviews together, it seems very real. So it's just weird. So how do you transition from like, okay, we cool, we buddy buddy to shooting somebody in the head? How does that
Woo!
transition happen?
Oh my God. It's one of them things you kind of just gotta lock in.
Hmm.
You gotta lock in and say like, yeah, this is the story. It's funny. We'll be sitting on set and we'll be laughing and chatting, but then we're yelling at each other, or we got a scene like me and Jill Marie Jones. I don't know if you remember that scene. She kind of approaches me and tells me, "Why would you tell Duda this?
Oh
Like this was something."
yes.
That
Right.
scene, me and Jill are like this,
Yeah.
and it was like we had to, put aside the laughter and the jokes.
Hmm.
And I remember Jill even went in the back and like she disappeared. And I was like, where did Jill go? And she disappeared. But then when she came in that scene, they said action, she was on me. And I was like, okay, I see what she did. She had to
Right.
like go to the side and, get it together and then
Hmm.
come and deliver basically.
Yeah. Wow. You mentioned earlier that you auditioned for Keisha and then got Tiff. Were you a little disappointed, but what did you come to love about Tiff?
I actually was not disappointed. I remember at the time, and I'm being very, very candid.
Yes.
It was for Keisha, it said nudity. So I
Mm.
immediately told my team, I'm not comfortable with this, but I would love to be in front of the casting director. So
Hmm.
ideally, them switching me over to Tiff was perfect for me because I just wasn't prepared for that. And I commend Burgundy Baker because she's amazing. Like,
Right.
she went in there, she killed it. And anybody who, do take on those type of roles, like I commend you. You guys are awesome. Like I just wasn't in that space. Going back to confidence.
Hmm.
But yeah, like I wasn't disappointed. And with Tiff, I just love how she's this progressive black woman. She's doing
Hmm.
things that you would not expect this young, attractive girl from the south side of Chicago to do. Like, I
Right.
can't even believe that they written her this much. Like, it was not supposed to be like this. So,
Right. I
yeah.
kind of picked up on that, and it's interesting that you say that. What do you think made and be real, be honest, and a little egotistical if it takes that. But what do you think made the writers and the producers say like, okay, let's give her a little bit more meat. Let's expand this character.
Um, to be honest with you, I really don't know, but I'm gonna give you what I think.
Hmm.
I do think that first scene with Tiff was a very explosive scene. She
Yes.
comes in this shoe store, she's smacking Emmett, she's causing this commotion. And it was very Chicago. I'm very
Hmm.
Chicago. Anybody who knows a Chicago person, I'm that. So I think
Right.
they just really, leaned into that. Like she's very Chicago. So we have that authenticity on the show because a lot of our actors, they're not Chicagoans.
Right.
So just having that on the show, probably benefited them. But also it was an explosive scene. I think it was a good scene, a great like starting scene for a character.
Right, right. Which actor who's not from Chicago serves the most Chicago when they're doing their scene?
Burgundy. She does. I would definitely give it to her. Mhm.
Right. She could be an adopted sister
She
of
really can.
Chicago.
Like, definitely. Like, you would not think. And I think she's from North Carolina. And Chicagoans are kind of, we're a little country too. So
Yeah.
I guess that's probably why. Jacob, he's from Milwaukee. Jacob doesn't really give Chicago, but he does a great job, like
Hmm.
just showing a Chicago person. But yeah, I would definitely say probably Bird.
Yeah. You spend a lot of time with your scene partner in the last what two seasons, 3 seasons with Lynn Whitfield. What is that like?
Oh my God, it's so amazing. First off, we've all watched Lynn. Like
Yeah.
Lynn is iconic in the industry. So it was an honor and a blessing. Um, she's funny as heck, which
Yeah.
is like always my cup of tea because I'm a class clown myself.
Right.
So that was always an enjoyable experience. But also, to work under someone like that, especially being a woman, it
Hmm.
was like I was a student a lot. And
Yeah.
I enjoy being a student. I enjoy being able to soak up as much as I can. And I didn't, it's interesting. We never like approached her like, hey, can you give us advice on this? But she'll drop those gems and you just got to know
Hmm.
when to pick them up. So that was a
Yes.
beautiful experience. And then she helped me really bring out some of the emotion and understand the moments that were happening. So I really appreciate just the opportunity to work with her.
Yeah, and it's interesting because even though with her, I mean, even though the character is really like hard, but with you, there's this real maternal energy, but you just never know when she's gonna switch it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree.
What are your thoughts about that?
That's the writing. We got to give it to
Hmm.
Lena Waithe and them for the
Yes.
writing. That unpredictability is something that I enjoy. Like
Hmm.
truly, it's just something we kind of got to roll with the punches on and appreciate when it comes to writing and storytelling because I think those are the best stories. Like I said, nobody wants to watch a movie where you can, predict the ending. You want
Absolutely.
to watch something where you're like, wait a minute, let me stay in tune. Let me make sure I'm paying attention so I can see why like what's going to happen next and why.
Hmm.
So I think I have to commend them on that.
Yeah. One of the questions that I like to ask a lot of actors when you have a very complex role, right? How do you remove yourself from a very emotional scene and come back to Hannah?
Oh, that's such a great question. And I want to say this too. D Detaching yourself is not only vital for emotional scenes, but just in general.
Hmm.
Like fourth season of The Shy, we explored open marriage. And that was
Mm.
something I was like, as Hannah was like, what? Like, this is like I didn't like I just Hannah wouldn't make those decisions, but Tiff
Hmm.
would, or
Hmm.
whoever else that this may work for would. And I remember struggling with that. And I'm like, Hannah, you just gotta really, really like you gotta sit yourself down. It sounds crazy, but you have to sit yourself down and say, like, hey, this is the character. And
Hmm.
this is Hannah. You wouldn't do these things, but your character might. And I think it's our job to just understand and respect that. We have to
Hmm.
serve the story, and that was my goal. But I will say this that requires so much stability in every area of your life. You have to be
Hmm.
mentally, spiritually, emotionally healthy and stable and balanced to really be able to successfully detach yourself.
Hmm.
For me, it was just a reminder, like telling myself, like, Hannah, this is not you.
Hmm.
This is not you. And making sure I create a life outside of work.
Hmm.
Like I have hobbies, I have things like I love my home, I love coming home and stuff. Everything doesn't just revolve around acting. It's other things that I do. So I think creating that life outside of work, understanding who you are, grounding yourself in that, and also like you don't have to feed into your character like when it comes to social media. Like ground you can be you on social media too. And that's
Hmm.
okay. And I think the more you anchor yourself in your identity, it's easier for
Hmm.
you to detach.
Yes. Nice. We have frontiers. Everybody has frontiers. If Hannah had the opportunity to hang out with Tiffany, would she? And where would she be on that totem pole of friends?
Mm, I would. I would definitely hang out with Tiffany. I don't think she would be a person I hang out with all the time, like a bestie. Nah. But maybe a homegirl, we kick it every now and then. We go out to eat. We know each other. We probably know each other's families, but nothing too close. But yeah.
Yes. What so you said nothing. Why? Why is that?
Um, Tiffany can be a bit unhinged.
Hmm.
And while I respect her decisions and her ambition as a young
Hmm.
woman, um our values, all of our values don't align. And the truth is sometimes when your values don't align with people, it's hard to really mesh. You have to like place them. Like, okay,
Hmm.
I can be connected with them in this way and that way, but maybe not this way. Like I wouldn't go
Right.
to Tiffany for relationship advice,
Yeah.
you know.
And it's so funny because it's always folks like that that want to cling to you the most, that you're trying to
Mm-hmm.
kind of keep a little bit of distance
Distance.
between you and them. That's crazy. So what can you tell us about what you've discovered about yourself from playing Tiffany?
Oh, that's a really good question. I've discovered so much. Like I've grown so much. Even like having respect and grace for other people. Like I was saying with the
Hmm.
open marriage, that's not something I would do, but I had to really understand that it's not my place to place judgment on somebody or frown upon that. If it
Hmm.
works for this person, it works for that person. It just doesn't work for me.
Hmm.
So, gaining that extra level of empathy and compassion and understanding for people, even patience for people, as actors, you're constantly trying to understand. Even if someone is a villain, an antagonist, or something, you're trying to understand them and you're trying to give them grace in ways. And I think, that affects us as
Hmm.
the actual actor. Like you just kind of you develop an open perspective that's different from how I was 10, 20 years ago. Like
Hmm.
I can't even explain. There's so many different layers to that of like, now I'm a person that's like, okay, this person, I may not agree with what they did, but there's a why.
Hmm.
And we need to give people grace with that. So that was something I learned. And, when it comes to like, again, I take risks. I'm a very ambitious person. I'm a hard worker, but Tiff is a different level. Like she's going after it.
Yes, she is. She
And
goes hard.
yeah, she
Yes.
goes hard. She
Yeah.
speaks up. She says all that. And it just took me to that higher level. Like, Hannah, be willing to take a few more risks. You never know what's beyond that. Going back to what we were just saying earlier. So I learned that from her. Also, just like, I'm in this phase, and this is kind of it. I believe Tiff kind of contributed to this, but really appreciating my feminism,
Hmm.
like the power of a woman, who a woman is, and who what a woman represents. And even like seeing all the other characters on the show. You got Lynn Whitfield playing this moolah on our show.
Right, right, right.
It's like all of this you taking in, and it makes you just appreciate yourself as a woman. I grew up in a space like when I was younger, it was always the talk about the struggles of women, especially
Hmm.
Black women. It's like,
Hmm.
oh, you're not gonna have this, you're not gonna have that. If you
Hmm.
get pregnant, this, if this is that. But they don't tell you pregnancy is beautiful. You're creating a
Right.
child. They don't tell you that there's beauty in seeing a strong, grounded Black woman and that we're the most highly educated people in the world. Like they don't tell
Hmm.
you these things, but they bombard you with all the negativity and all these little things on our show. And just to say, we kind of celebrated this season with the women, showing
Hmm.
how women stick together. It makes you appreciate yourself as a woman, and it makes you ground yourself and be proud. Like it sounds crazy, but there were times in my life I'm like, dang, women don't, we getting the short end of the stick. No, everybody gets a short end of the stick somewhere down the
Hmm.
line.
Hmm.
But it's like we need to stop focusing on the negative and appreciate ourselves for the positive.
Hmm. We talked about Lynn Whitfield, and then we there have been so many like legendary stars that have been on the Shy. But with that, we get a lot of new faces as well over the course of the show. What's that like for you to kind of have like those new faces around, but then also those legends that have been on the show as well?
Um, it's a beautiful experience, I would have to say, and I have to commend Lena on that again
Hmm.
because she brings in these big people, and then she also gives opportunity to people like me. Like this was
Hmm.
my biggest role. This was a lot of our biggest roles. Like the
Yes.
kids, this was their biggest role. So them and how they're telling you who they're choosing the cast and how they're going about this and how they're meshing this group of people. I
Hmm.
have to give it to the higher ups. Everybody hired the network, production, Lena, the writers, Justin Hilly and the showrunner, all of those. I
Hmm.
have to give it to them because they're mixing us well. But it is a great experience because we all bounce off of each other. We're
Yes.
all like our generation, we're giving advice to the younger generation. We have
Hmm.
kids on our show, and then the older people are giving advice to us. So it's great for us to just really connect and learn from each other.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it seems like that respect is there because it seems like the characters reflect where you guys actually are in life when you're relating to them. And you don't always see that. What
You don't.
also what is it like, and this is I always say that inclusion doesn't mean exclusion. So let me just get that out the way. But with that being said, what is it like being on a set with a predominantly black cast or almost all black cast, and then with also with black producers and being in a nice rich black city? What is that like?
Oh man, it's so surreal. When I was growing up, I watched a lot of black film.
Mm-hmm.
But my question, my curiosity was why aren't we crossing over? Why aren't we mainstream?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember kind of gravitating to people like Whoopi Goldberg, Queen Latifah, Halle Berry, because they were more mainstream. They were
Mm-hmm.
bigger names. They was in different type of productions. And I remember being very, very young and saying, we can have black productions at this level. Like
Mm-hmm.
I fantasized it, to be honest. I
Yes.
truly did. I'm like, we can tell stories, we can switch this actor instead of like I would watch movies and I would say, like, this could be a black person instead. This could
Mm-hmm.
be, this. I would recast them in my head. So to fast forward and be on this production and see this. And let me tell you, this production has evolved too. So I was on the original pilot in 2015, which is with a completely different cast.
Mm-hmm.
And behind the scenes, you got all these different faces, and it just wasn't as many black faces. You had
Mm-hmm.
a lot of black faces in front of the screen and off and behind the screen, but it wasn't a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And over the years, you've seen a growth in it. You've seen the industry kind of shift in our favor. And it it's something that you really can't even articulate, but it's just like I'm so happy and proud to be a part of this industry in this time and to be celebrated in this way. Like we're telling our stories now. Back in the day, you will watch a film and it'll be a black film, and then you look at the writer and they white. And
Right.
it's like, and not to say that white people can't tell black stories or black people can't tell white stories, because you can't, but there's a different level of understanding.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you look at a Martin Scorsese, he has all these like Jewish stuff or, like all this Italian stuff all in this film. He can tell that. I would never put that in a film. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know all these scrolls about all these scrolls. I mean, I would do the research, but like, he can identify with that more and tell those stories better. Like us, the traditional, what's the dancing photo? I can't even remember the name. The black dancing photo that every black household had. I cannot remember the
Oh,
name.
I
Like,
think I know what you're talking about. Yes, yes,
yes.
yes, yes.
Like we would put that in a scene, but they probably wouldn't. Another race,
Mm-hmm.
another demographic wouldn't. So, it's beautiful. It's amazing. It's groundbreaking that we can tell these stories from our perspective. And then we're creating like we're in the production process too. I will say too, throughout the years we've seen more black female faces behind the
Mm-hmm.
scenes, black female directors. Lena, with Hillman grad, she has a lot of the directors from Hillman grad. They go through, I think, a director's course or something with Hillman,
Mm-hmm.
and then they'll bring them over to the shop. And it's just we all here celebrating blackness together.
Yes.
Like it's crazy. Like the system and structure that they've created up the shop is awesome. It really is. It's brilliant, and it really celebrates black people, all types of black people, all types of black talent.
Mm-hmm.
Even
And
artists. We felt we have artists featured. Even one season we had black designers. Like that was the focus, all
Nice.
black designers for the wardrobe. So it's yeah, it
That's pretty. That sounds like an incredible experience.
really is.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you a twofold question. So, what has been your favorite moment with Tiff in the show? And then what would you still like to see her do?
Mm, my favorite moment. Hmm. Probably has to be this past season, just seeing her in a different space.
Hmm.
Tiff, initially you always seen her as like the aggressor or, this very outspoken person, but she's softened this season. That, she still has those moments where she's, speaking up and, being a powerful person, but she's softened and we've seen her in a more vulnerable state. And I
Hmm.
think that's important to see in anyone as well, especially when you want to understand them a little bit more. So that this season of vulnerability, her being pregnant, her grieving, her being in a space where she has to really let go, I
Hmm.
think that probably has been my favorite part of her. And then moving forward, I want to see Tiffany really boss up. Like she's
Hmm.
never, I hate to say this, but she's never had her own home. Like if you look at over the seasons, she's always stayed with Emmett and his mama,
Right.
Rob, now Rob mama. Like I want
Right.
to see her in her own home. I want to see her in her own world, like a real world of hers.
Hmm.
So yeah, I would like to see that for her.
Yeah. What about as far as motherhood? Where do you want to see Tiff?
Man, so this past season, Tiff dropped the ball. And you know what? Let me say this. I don't think, and I could be wrong, I don't think that was intentional
Mm.
to have her not with her child.
Right.
We had a big what people don't understand the behind the scenes and when it come to production, children can't be on set often. Like they got
Right.
the 8 hours, I think, and then it changes for whatever the age range is. And because the story, like Keisha's story, was her with the children, it's like
Hmm.
they had to push all the children there, and
Right.
to do it was just. I think it was like that was the issue. I don't think it was meant for Tip to be a deadbeat mom. So
Right.
this season with her and motherhood was very interesting to watch and then interesting to see how the fans reacted. But I would love her to get some redemption there
Hmm.
because I don't think she's a bad mom. No, it's no thinking. I know she's not a bad mom, but we just have to find a way to like I said, give her some redemption. I'm curious to what they're going to do because again, with children on set, it's like it's a lot. It's way more like babies, especially. They're only allowed to
Mm.
be on set for so long. Like we had the newborns when we delivered. I think
Right.
they were. We can have them for 10 minutes at a time. It's like a
Oh,
very short time
wow.
with the new ones.
Yes.
So I don't know how they're gonna do it, but I want to see her get some redemption. I want to see her being more active as a mother, but also, as a entrepreneur, as a leader, as a boss.
Hmm. We talked about directing. Would you want to write an episode of The Shy?
Ooh, probably not an episode of The Shy. I would love to write, but
Hmm.
not an episode of The Shy. Like that's Selena's baby, and
Hmm.
when something is somebody's baby, you just kind of let it be their baby,
Yes.
and so I would prefer to always just be on the acting side when it comes to The Shy.
Hmm.
But yeah, in the future, probably write my own stuff.
Yeah. What secrets can you tell us that we haven't heard about yet or seen yet without giving too much away?
Shy related.
Yes.
Let me see. I feel like everything is kind of out right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, like with that finale was crazy. So,
Which I haven't seen yet.
oh,
Yes.
okay. Well, you gotta see that finale.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a lot in that finale, and it kind of just says a lot. I mean, to be honest, we don't know where the stories are going.
Hmm.
Like I don't even know if I'm guessing they're gonna do a time jump.
Mm.
but we really don't even know if they're going to do a time jump. All I can say is we do got a season 8 and we start
Hmm.
filming in January.
Excellent,
So
excellent.
those are kind of little secrets.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's a good jump off point. Yeah, so what outside of the shy,
Mhm.
what kind of projects do you want to do next?
Oof, I kind of want to do a little bit of everything. I did an action film at the top of the year. And it's so interesting because when I first stepped into this industry, that was my goal. I wanted to do an action film. I'm very athletic. So that was like a thing. I'm like, oh, I want to do this. And then I kind of just got rid of that. Like I'm getting older, when you're filming action films, it's different than,
Right.
already in speaking just with dialogue, you got to shoot about six times. You got to take multiple takes. Imagine a action film.
Yeah.
Like it's way more takes. It's way more complicated. But I had fun with that, and I said, Hannah, maybe this is a reminder that you can still do it.
Mm.
Um, I believe, I think I have a very versatile look, and I think I can play anything, in my
Hmm.
opinion. So I kind of want to dabble into every single genre. My least favorite genre is probably horror, unless it's like a Jordan Peele horror.
Right.
Jordan Peele horror is brilliant.
Right.
But like horror cabin in the woods, I don't know how I was feeling.
Don't
Like
want to
I don't
do
want to
that one.
scream. Yeah, I don't want to do that running and falling and nah, I don't want to do
All right.
that.
Hannah, what's coming up next for you in your career and in life?
Ooh, I'll say this. I had the best summer of my life.
Hmm.
This summer, and I was able to work. We had the show airing. And we're not filming. We didn't film this summer. We filmed last summer, but we didn't film this summer. So I had that off, which means it allows me to do other projects.
Hmm.
So the me juggling that and juggling traveling. I've been able to travel way more. This is the most I've ever traveled in my life. So I'm so grateful to have that opportunity to do that. And celebrating the show. This was a huge season for us.
Yes.
So I'm being very, very present in right now, but I'm also trying to like build off this momentum. Right now, it's a lot of auditions right now. Like
Hmm.
July, it just picks up and it
Right.
goes into about October. So audition, audition, audition. It's a lot of productions filming in Chicago. I'm hoping, something come for that. But besides that, traveling, traveling, traveling. Again, we'll start back the shy. So that'll be exciting. It another big season because now this is going to put us at the longest running Black TV drama.
Right.
So that's exciting, and I'm sure the writers' room got something up their sleeve that's gonna
Mm.
really elevate this season. So looking forward to that. Yeah, like I can't even it's corny, but like I really enjoy the simple things in life. Like
Hmm.
to be able to travel and enjoy the summer this year, like I've never had a summer like this, truly. And it's been an absolute blessing that I'm grateful for.
Hmm. Where's some of the places that you've been this summer?
Man, don't laugh at me. I've been to Philly. I've been
There's
just
nothing wrong with Philly.
like random places. Like I try to like do quick trips all across the
Yeah.
country. I do got a Tokyo trip coming up that I'm really excited for. I've done Mexico a couple of times this year, Atlanta, New York. I've been frequenting New York a lot.
Mm.
Um, I just kind of been Denver, Seattle, Denver. I love Denver. I love the mountains with the
Yeah.
city, like the access that it has. It would be perfect if it had water there. But Phoenix, I've been kind of a little bit of everywhere. But I got that Tokyo trip coming up, so that's something I'm really looking forward to.
What are you most excited about Tokyo?
Um, I don't know. I'm such a tourist. I'm a dork about just like touring a city. So I think. just the experience, you hear about everybody and their experiences when it comes to food and just the architecture and
Mm,
just how the city is set up, even the cleanliness of the city. I'm
mm.
actually excited to see that. Like they say, it's so clean that you have to like take your shoes off to go everywhere. And that sounds crazy to us in America, but I
Right.
wonder how this structure, this livelihood is like working for them. Even like I love visiting places that just have different terrains, different
Mm,
types of trees. I forgot it's a place out there. It's a forest that I really wanna. It's on my list of places to go. Osaka, Kyoto,
mm-hmm,
like just kind of exploring and jumping around different, learning their culture a little bit
mm-hmm.
more.
Yeah. What's it been like documenting all of this for you, for your socials? Because that's been pretty interesting. What's that been like for you?
Oh my God. I love it. I love taking photos, of course. Like I have
Right.
a whole Canon that I take the photos off of. It's exciting. I need to do better with social
Mm,
media or just putting that content out.
yes.
Um, but it amazing. Like amazing. Anytime I'm able to experience another city, another culture,
Hmm.
another anything that is not like mine,
Hmm.
I'm excited.
Yeah, Tracy Ellis Ross, she has a travel show now. Would you ever want like kind of like
Yes.
put some clips together and say, let's see what we got here? Would you ever want to do anything like that?
I would. And I know she does solo traveling. See, I do a lot of solo
Yes.
traveling too. And I thought that was interesting. I'm like, okay, well, I'm not the only woman out here doing solo traveling. So I think that's amazing as well and very inspiring for other young women.
Yeah, absolutely. Hannah, where can everybody find you on social media?
My social media is at Hannah Hall, HANNAHAHAHALL. My name is spelled kind of weird, but
That's all
yes, just my
good.
name.
Unique, unique.
Unique, yes, it is unique. My mother. We'll come in there for that. But yeah, just my first and last name at Hannah Hall. I have an Instagram. I don't have any other social media, but yes, Instagram.
Yes, Hannah Hall, this has been an absolute pleasure. It's been great talking to you today, and just much success to you in your career, and then much success to the upcoming season of The Shy. Hope you guys have great
Thank you.
shoots. Yes.
Thank you.
Be sure to follow me, Keith Underwood, at Mr. Keith L. Underwood on IG. You can also follow me on FB at Keith L. Underwood. And you gotta follow Black in the Green Room at Black in the Green Room across all platforms. Until next time, this has been Black in the Green Room.